Okay, welcome to this video, and you've decided to go ahead and travel to other moons and planets in Planet Crafter and how to do that. Well, that's what we're here to talk about. So I've sort of pinned everything that you'll need from a basic standpoint just to get off the planet. The first thing, as you can see, let's actually hit the let's open up the construction menu so I can actually move the mouse around. So the first thing you need is the extraction platform if you have not built that. So you need to build one of these at minimum on the planet that you're leaving from. I would also recommend that you take supplies to build another one on wherever you're going, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But at a minimum, to get off the planet, you'll need an extraction platform. Those are the things you'll need. You will also need the supplies for an interplanetary travel rocket. You will need the supplies to build a solar system screen. That's it. Once you get that, you can blast off to wherever it is you want to go. So let's go to the, I've already actually built the extraction platform, so let's head over there. Take a look. It's all the way over here. And this actually means that I came from another planet. This is sort of the entry craft. So when you land back on one of these platforms, you'll have one of these, but really that's not going to help us get off the planet. Now I need to build another rocket. And every time you use a rocket, you need to build a new one if you want to leave again. So that's the key. So let's actually go up there. And when you come to this screen, you'll get two options. One is the extraction rocket. The other is the interplanetary travel rocket. So again, you will need, we will build this one. You won't build, if you want to end the game, you can build the extraction rocket. I don't recommend you do that, but if you do actually just want to end the journey, you can build the extraction rocket. But we're going to actually go ahead and build the interplanetary travel rocket in a minute. And you can see here, I've got all the supplies to do that. I've got all the supplies right here to do that. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll build, and you'll see it appear right here, the rocket, once it's built. And there it is. Boom. It's built. And they even give you a little crate to take some supplies with you. This is very critical to think about what you're taking with you. Now that's what we're going to talk about. So once you build this rocket, well, let me put it to you this way. When I built this, I was sort of naive, and I just took like some supplies to build like a little base. I took some supplies to build a water collector, but I wasn't thinking about, hey, maybe I want to come back here like soon. And so what I didn't do was take all the supplies to get back off of that moon. Now, that's kind of hard, especially if you go to like, oh gosh, I'm going to die here. Yep. Oh, hold on. No. Oh, no. I didn't drink it. This, you know what happens? This always gets me when I'm doing a tutorial. I forget to drink right in the middle while I was talking. Okay, there we go. So basically, what I was while I was rudely interrupted. Let's actually take some water in case that happens again. So what I was basically saying was I wasn't thinking about getting back to here from wherever I went. And if you go to Aqualis or if you go to Selena, now if you go to the other planets like Humble, they have a lot of stuff there. But if you go to Selena, some of the moons, such as Selena or Aqualis, you can't even mine on Aqualis. So just keep that in mind. So you are going to need to not only take some stuff. It's very important to think about what you're taking with you. And again, I didn't do that. Now you could get back here eventually, but it's going to take a long time. So what I want to tell you, we're actually going to go to Aqualis. We're actually going to blast off in a few minutes. But what I want to tell you is you may also want to take, well, okay, you can do three things here. One is you could literally go there with nothing. If you want a real challenge, you could survive. You're just going to have to get around and find supplies pretty quick. They have clamshells there and all these things. You can go around and find, whatever it is you need. However, you could do another scenario where you take some minimal supplies. Like I kind of did to build a base, maybe build a water collector. So keep in mind though, there's no mining, so that means you can't get any silver. You have to find all these things. You can't get any iron. There is iron on the planet, but it's just lying around. You can't actually set up a miner for it. You can go ahead and look for it in clamshells and everything. It'll be lying around, but you can't actually set up an extractor to get it. So just keep that in mind. Now you can actually, on Selena, you can get some basic minerals, but you can't get anything advanced like iridium or uranium, anything like that. So just keep that in mind when you leave. You might want to take some things with you depending on what you want to build. Now the third option is the one I do now, because I've already gone to those moons and sort of gone there with nothing and got back here. I don't need to do that again. So now normally what I do is, after I build this rocket, I don't leave right away. I want to make sure I've got everything I need to get back. Now, I've already got an extraction platform built there on these moons, so for me, no big deal. I've got everything, and I've got an orbital screen. But if you're just starting out for the first time, that's what I'm actually pretending that you're doing if you're watching this video. If you're starting out for the first time, you need not only to build this rocket, you will need to take all the supplies for an additional rocket, one like this. You will need to take the supplies for the extraction platform, and you will need to take the supplies for the orbital screen. All three of those things up on the top left. You have to take all of that. So what I like to do is load all of those supplies that I can into here. Everything that I can fits in here. You might have a little bit overlap into here, but basically think about it. This is everything that we can take. Here's the crate, the container, here's our inventory. So you want to make sure you have all of this, and then there's one other big one to think about. These will take up quite a bit of energy. So if you're at this state, chances are you can probably build a pretty good nuclear fusion generator. So I would take those supplies too. So there's really a fourth thing that you need. You need all three of these plus the nuclear fusion generator. Now, if you don't have the supplies for this, which I highly doubt if you're able to get these supplies, I'm guessing you can get this. But if you couldn't, you could also take, like, you could build a nuclear reactor. But what you don't want to do is get on that planet and then suddenly have no energy. No, it's not the end of the world. I actually went to, I think it was Aqualis one time, and they had enough so I could build some T2 solar panels and get these things powered up. But if you don't do that, it's not the end of the world, but it'll just take you a little bit longer if you want to come back here. So one thing you could do, if you have a lot, if you're rolling in a lot of supplies, you have a lot of supplies, you could actually come back right away and get more from this planet, or you can build a interplanetary exchange shuttle. I'll talk about that in another tutorial, how those work. But this is great for the moons because you can just bring all the supplies back from the main planet you're on and pipe them back to. In fact, it's almost essential to have an interplanetary exchange shuttle. But you don't have to worry about this one right away. What you want to make sure is have all these again, and if you're lucky, you get the nuclear fusion generator. And then, like I said, if you need to come back in a little while, you don't have to come back right away. I mean, you can mine certain things on that planet. You can get enough iron that's just lying around and stuff. You can go look at some of the clamshells or whatever it is you need. Or if you're on selenium, there's even more. I'm sorry, Selena. There's even more. They have these. They have all kinds of things you can loot. That's actually an easier moon. I think it's a little bit easier. So, but again, I would recommend that if you do want to come back, again, you take all of this stuff. So that's sort of where that's at. Probably the hardest thing to find, and the thing that's easy to forget, is the energy fuse, energy multiplier fuse. So you want to make sure you have several of those. I usually keep a couple of them on the moons just in case, so I don't get stuck. In fact, you know, one thing I'm thinking about, because I don't know, I could probably send my supply craft to get these, but I'm going to take these anyway. So I'm going to take one of these, because I know I have energy fuses on Aqualis, so it's not that big of a problem, but I'm going to take not that big of a problem, but I'm going to take some of these quartz here, because I got so many of them. I'm just going to take, that's it. That's all I'm going to take for the supplies. So I'm going to go ahead now, and we're going to blast off. And we're going to go to Aqualis. So you come in here, and again, I'm assuming you have all of this filled up. Now, I don't have that problem because Aqualis is built out, and I've got all kinds of, I've piped in all of these different supplies, so I'm okay. But again, you want to think about what you're taking there. So we're going to go to Aqualis. It's going to hit yes. Sometimes it's glitched here, and it doesn't actually take off from this planet. We'll see if it does it this time. Sometimes it gets stuck, but if it does, you just got to wait. That's just a cutscene. It'll eventually clear. It didn't get stuck this time. It actually took off cleanly, which is nice. And there it goes. And now I will land on Aqualis. There you can see I'm on Aqualis now. You can see it's really built out. I've got the interplanetary exchange here. I've even got the space trading. So I've got both of these. So I can pipe in a lot of supplies. And once you get these two on wherever you're at, you're in pretty good shape. Okay? Because I can actually send this. I think I have enough funds right now. Yeah, I mean, I have enough funds here where I could actually get an energy multiplier fuse to get off of here. But I think I even have some. Let's see. Is it in here? No, I know I do have. Let me go check over here. I'm pretty sure I've got an energy. Even if I couldn't, I could easily. Well, maybe I don't. Oh, I have two. See, so that's a good thing to leave a few of these once you. I mean, try to get as many of these as possible because this is probably the hardest thing for you to get. And once you get several of those, you're in pretty good shape. So that is how you travel around. I hope this helped you to think about what you want to take with you. And again, just make sure when you're first coming to one of these moons, especially the moons, make sure that you bring. I'm sorry, planet. Am I calling this a moon? I'm sorry. What am I calling this? I think I called it. I'm sorry. It's not a moon. It's just the. No, it is a moon. I'm sorry. Let's go look at the. I always forget this. Let's see. I think I got. Yeah. See, I have the screen already built here. And this is actually what you can build out here. You can look and see the solar system in general. But again, I already had this screen built. I already had all this stuff built, so I was okay. So I hope you found this useful, and thanks for watching.